Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like our predictions are coming true. You remember last year, the Premier of Gauteng, Panyaza Sufi, came out and said that the ANC is not going to campaign on Ramaphosa's past 5 years, but the ANC is going to campaign based on what the party has done since 1994. I came on the platform and I said, guys, in my own understanding, I think the African National Congress is actually going to strong arm people into voting for them. How is the ANC going to strong arm the people of this country to vote for them? The ANC understands that the majority of the people in this country are poor people. And these people, man, they depend on the ANC government for almost anything to survive. So the ANC is going to go to the poor communities in South Africa. And they're going to tell them that, guys, we built you these RDP houses. That is the ANC government. You are unemployed, we are giving you 350. That is the ANC government. You have children, we are paying 500 each. That is the ANC government. Do you have anyone with a disability in your home? We are paying for that. That is the ANC government. Do you have your grandmother, your grandfather still alive? Social accounts. We are paying for that. That is the ANC government. I said this is what these people are going to do. And I am sad to find out that I was right. I was right. This past weekend, President Ramaphosa, you know, the President Ramaphosa and the African National Congress are in Mpumalanga gearing up for the January 8th event there in Mpumalanga in Mbombela Stadium. President Ramaphosa is going around doing the speeches, and one of the things that President Ramaphosa has recently said is that if the people of this country vote against the African National Congress, chances are they might lose their social cons. The DA, Action SA, EFF, people are outraged by this statement of the president, because the president is actually not being truthful with the people of this country. The president is not telling the people of South Africa that, guys, all of these benefits that you are getting them because of the taxpayers. This is the taxpayers' money. They are not telling the people that. They are telling people that, guys, all of these things that you are getting them from the African National Congress. So if you vote against the ANC, chances are you are not going to get your social grants. Ramaphosa, you remember when the ANC was still celebrating the what is this? When the African National Congress was still celebrating the 2019 Manifesto Review in Dobsonville, President Ramaphosa came out and said that he is proud to tell the world that in South Africa we have 18 million people depending on social grant. He said this is a milestone. There is no other country in Africa that does this. Actually, there is no other country in the world that does this. But South Africa, it is the only country in the world that has 18 million people depending on social grants. I remember the ANC people, man, clapping hands for Ramaphosa as if, man, he actually said something positive. The president told the whole world that in South Africa, man, you have 18 million people, man, depending on the government for everything to survive. So what do you think this message is going to do when it starts going to the communities? Do you think that the people in the communities are going to listen to political parties like Democratic Alliance and Action SA? Do you think the people in our communities are going to listen to the EFF when they say, guys, we are going to increase your social grants? People are not going to listen to that. People are skeptical of other political parties. And this is the reason why people are going to vote again for the African National Congress, despite the terrible record of the ANC. This is why people are going to vote for the ANC. Because people are skeptical of other political parties. Man, I see Action SA, I see DA, EFF, man. These people are trying to tell the people of this country that, guys, the President Ramaphosa is talking nonsense. If we come in governance, if we come in union buildings, you are still going to get these social grants. I know there are other political parties, man, that cannot even commit themselves to giving the people of this country social grants. I know other political parties say, guys, this money, man, there's a lot of money here. And this money can actually be used to improve the lives of people of this country. But the African National Congress, man, will not do that. The ANC would rather spend billions and billions and billions making people depend on them instead of actually improving the lives of the people. The people of this country, man, they are about to be forced to vote for the African National Congress. The poor majority people in this country, man, they are about to be forced to vote for the African National Congress, whether they like it or not. And this is what the African National Congress is going to do. Because the ANC, they can actually realize that, man, we cannot campaign in 2024. We don't have any victories to campaign on in 2024. So guess what? We are about to blackmail these people. We are about to strong arm these people into voting for this party. We are not going to campaign. We are not going to promise them anything. We are not going to promise clean governance, data deployment, corruption. We are not going to talk about that. We are simply going to remind them of what they stand to lose if they vote against the African National Congress. So what are opposition parties going to do? How are opposition parties actually going to encounter this messaging of the African National Congress? How are they going to do that? How are they going to do that? Because people are already skeptical about them. People are skeptical about them. A lot of people, man, especially in the townships, man, I live in the townships. A lot of people will tell you that, man, I'm going to the polls to vote for the African National Congress, not because the ANC is the best governing party in the world. No, I'm going to vote for the ANC because the ANC is giving me grants. The ANC is taking care of me. I'm unemployed. These people are giving me 350. I have 2 kids. They are giving me 1,000 rand. I have 1,300 rand each and every month for sitting at home and doing nothing. So do you think the people of this country, man, they will actually vote against their social grants? They are not going to do that. They are not going to do that. And this is the reason why I'm worried. And I look at opposition parties, man, there's not a single party that is actually fighting to take the fight from the ANC. These people, man, all of them, the only thing they can offer is lip service. But I don't see these people actually taking the fight from the ANC. And I don't actually see them. And I don't see how they are going to encounter this messaging. How are they going to encounter this messaging? Guys, I have a question for you again. If you were a leader of any political party, man, how would you encounter this messaging from the ANC? How would you do that? How can you actually convince poor people in this country, majority of poor people in this country, poor and uneducated people in this country, to actually vote against the African National Congress? When the African National Congress is whispering on this ear that, man, if you vote against us, chances are you are going to lose your social grants. How are you going to convince these people to actually vote against the ANC? You see what is going to happen. The ANC sees that, man, we don't have any victories. If anything, when people look at the party, man, they see nothing but mess. But we are going to strong arm people in this country, man, to vote for us. We are going to force them to vote for us. We are not going to campaign. We are not going to promise them anything. We are simply going to tell them, guys, this is what you are about to lose. We are going to put their benefits on the table and tell them, guys, if you vote against us, then you might as well say bye-bye to all of these benefits that you are getting from the government. These people are vicious, man. They are vicious. They created a situation where they know that in South Africa, man, poor people, majority of poor people are uneducated. They knew this education of theirs, this 30% of theirs, they knew that one day this 30% of ours is going to benefit us. They knew. And now it's time to reap the reward of this 30%. It's time to reap the reward of this 30%. Because if you can listen and if you hear what people are saying in the townships, people love the African National Congress, not because the ANC is actually the best governance, not because Ramaphosa is the best president, or because the ANC has the best. No. People actually love the ANC because of what the ANC is doing for them. So when these people, man, keep saying that, guys, your social grants, your children's grants, we are adding 20 rand. We are, your 350s. Right now, there are talks that 350 might actually go up. 350 might actually go up. So do you actually understand what is going to happen when these people come out and say, guys, we know that the majority of you are unemployed. We know that you are not happy with the 350 that we guys were giving you. We have decided that we are going to give you 500 rand. But we are going into the elections in 2 months. But if you don't vote for us, this 500 rand, the party that is going to take over, chances are they are going to scrap that 500 rand. People will go to the polls and actually vote to secure the benefits. They are about to force people, man. They are about to force people, man, to choose between their benefits and their party. They are about to make South Africans, poor South Africans, to choose between their benefits and their party. So how are opposition parties going to encounter this? I honestly don't know. How are they going to encounter this?
Right, back live here, I'll do it focus, and thanks for staying on. Let's turn to the comments now by ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa. He has warned party supporters and others, I suppose, who voted sympathizers of the ANC that social grants and the National Student Financial Aid Scheme might be at risk if the party doesn't stay in government. He was speaking at the cake-cutting ceremony in Mpumalanga to celebrate the party's 112th birthday. Political analyst Professor Andre Duvenek joins us now for more.
Guys, just imagine, man, you are a president of the party that is celebrating 112 years in existence. Instead of standing on stage and say, guys, we are proud of what our party has done. We have created a lot of jobs. We have a lot of companies in South Africa, man. Investment is coming left, right, and center. You are talking about social grants. You are a president of a party that is over 100 years old. The party that has been running the country for almost 30 years. And you are talking about social grants. You are not talking about the development that the country is making. You are not talking about the technological advances that the country is making. You are not talking about the strong small business sector that is growing in South Africa. These are not the issues that you are talking about. As a president of the country, you are talking about the social grants. These people are shameless. These people are shameless.
On that, Prof, good to have you, and thank you very much.
I would be so embarrassed as the president of the party, man. I would be embarrassed as the president of the party to stand in front of millions and millions of people, man, to tell people about social grants. When we celebrate our party's 112 years, we are telling people about social grants. We are not saying, guys, we have created 2 million jobs. We have created 5 million jobs. We have 500,000 strong small businesses that are coming up. We have technological advances. Young people in this country, man, they are designing cell phones, they are designing cars, they are designing all sorts of things. This is not what these people are talking about. This is not what these people are talking about. And this is why I hate this type of politics. You see the EFF ANC type of politics. This is exactly why I hate this type of politics, because there's nothing these people are offering to the people of South Africa. Man, you listen to other presidents speak. You listen to other presidents speak, man. You listen to these people, man, speaking about the technological advances they are making. And our presidents are not even talking about the technological advances. How can they even talk about technological advances when we don't even have electricity? You remember Ramaphosa when he became the president, man, he was talking about the smart city. Can someone please ask Ramaphosa what happened with that smart city of his? Or there's no electricity actually to build the smart city? The president was talking about smart city. We're gonna have a smart city. We're gonna have this. There's not even a single house or a single road built for that smart city. These people are shameless, man. They're shameless. Honestly, man, I would be embarrassed. I don't want to lie. I would be embarrassed, man. I would be embarrassed as a president of the party, as the president of the country, to talk about social grants. I would be embarrassed. I would be embarrassed.
Right, back live here, I'll do it focus, and thanks for staying on. Let's turn to the comments now by ANC President Cyril Ramaphosa. He has warned party supporters and others, I suppose, who voted sympathizers of the ANC that social grants and the National Student Financial Aid Scheme might be at risk if the party doesn't stay in government. He was speaking at the cake-cutting ceremony in Mpumalanga to celebrate the party's 112th birthday. Political analyst Professor Andre Duvenek joins us now for more on that. Prof, good to have you, and thank you very much for your time. Is this just political speak of the president? I suppose that should be taken with all the other rhetoric that political parties say during a campaign trail. Or is there something deliberately being done mischievously by the president in his utterances?
Well, Tabo, in order to answer you, we need to look at a number of background perspectives. The first one is that the number of people receiving grants over the last decade or two increased in a dramatic way.
And again, man, you guys as taxpayers, you are also paying for illegal immigrants. You know, in South Africa, man, even illegal immigrants are getting these social grants. Illegal immigrants are getting social grants in South Africa. You are paying for that as taxpayers. Illegal immigrants, man, as soon as they jump border, as soon as they step land in South Africa, man, it is your responsibility to take care of those people. You are paying for those people's accommodation. You are paying for their security. You are paying for everything. Are you happy as a taxpayer to know that these are types of things that you are paying for? Are you happy?
And there's no doubt that this is a mechanism used by the ANC government in order to ensure support. And
Exactly. They are doing this, man, to ensure support. They knew that. That's why the ANC didn't care about the fact that companies were leaving South Africa. That's why they don't care about the fact that companies, as we speak, they are leaving South Africa because of load shedding. They don't care about that. They know that if you lose your job, then you have us, that we are going to take care of you. You lose your job, it's fine. You lose your 5,000 job, it's fine. We are going to give you 350. You are going to survive with that. You are going to survive with that. Right now, man, they are reaping the rewards of all the mess they've been making throughout the years. Companies have been leaving South Africa, man. And the fact that companies are leaving South Africa, man, this is why the whole thing of NSFAS really frustrates me. The fact that companies are leaving South Africa, companies are threatening to leave South Africa as we speak. But you still have NSFAS, man. We are still paying for these people to go to school, knowing very well that companies are closed. What is it exactly that South Africans are paying for? What is it exactly we paying for? These people, man, they do not want to help the people of this country to actually improve their lives. They don't want that. They don't want that.
And if we look at the figures at the moment, about between 19 and 20 million people in many categories, older person, child support, war veterans, etc., are receiving social grants. But then there's also this the COVID grant for another about 10 million. So at the moment, between 27 and 28 million people are receiving the one or other form of social grant. Now, if you look at the total of our population, you will find that about 47% of people in South Africa are currently dependent on social grants. And they will definitely be concerned by losing their grants.
Yeah.
But the big problem on the other side is, can the government continue supporting these grants?
Yeah.
At the moment, the economy is not growing. The number of people that are unemployed increased regularly. So there are major economic and financial challenges. But I have no doubt that Mr. Ramaphosa is using this as a mechanism to persuade people to vote for the ANC in government. Now, we cannot predict what the new government will do.
Yeah.
Governments have their own policy frameworks, and depending on their approach of policies, they can rather continue or discontinue this trend. Yeah. But what I'm 100% sure about is our economy cannot afford what is sometimes described as the most comprehensive welfare system per capita in the world.
Exactly, man. The professor is telling the truth. The professor is like saying something, like saying what I've been saying all along. Like, professor is telling the truth, man. They are simply using this thing as a mechanism. They are blackmailing people into voting for them. They know the people of this country, man, are sick and tired of them. They know, everyone knows that they are nothing but thugs and criminals. Everyone knows in the country. Even young people, man, even children. Like, you can ask my nephew, my 14-year-old nephew, about Ramaphosa. He will tell you that Ramaphosa is a thug. All of those guys in the ANC are thugs. And they know. The ANC knows that the people of this country hates them. They know that.
Talk a little bit about the reforms to the system, but let's talk about what you've just mentioned now. I mean, we can slightly give somewhat of a prediction based on what, for example, a party like the Democratic Alliance has said on social grants. They have, in fact, up on their website, their social development policy campaign and what they plan to do with it. We can also hear a little bit of undertones from the economic freedom fighters, in fact, about their views on social grants and how extensively more they think that the social grants should actually go.
The thing is that these parties, man, no matter what they say, problem is that the ANC has been in charge, man, since 1994. People, man, have received these grants under the ANC government. They don't actually trust that the party like the Democratic Alliance or the EFF or Action SA, they can actually continue this whole thing of giving them grants. They don't believe that no matter what the Democratic Alliance can say, the DA can say whatever they want to say, people are not going to believe them. People are going to say, no man, we don't trust you. We might as well stick with these guys that are already giving us money. This is how people are seeing this whole thing of social grants. It is very disturbing. This is how people are seeing it. They don't trust that, guys, we can get rid of the African National Congress. You can get another party, maybe that will still continue some of these social grants, but at least we'll have a good governance. At least we'll have employment. At least these people will be able to attain investments so that people can actually work. At least companies are going to open up and people will actually start to work. This is not how people are seeing it, man. People, they don't actually care about that part. Like, they don't care about that. They don't care about the governance of the African National Congress at this point. They don't care. They are just here for survival. And this is how they are in South Africa. And this is the situation that we are in South Africa. I mean, people are fighting for their survival. That's why they don't care about making all of these adjustments. They don't want to make adjustments. They don't want to vote for other political parties, despite other political parties actually promising them the same social grants that the ANC is giving to them. People don't want to take that leap of faith, man. People are not going to take that leap of faith. And Ramaphosa, man, and the ANC, they are wrong for actually going out and tell the people of this country that, guys, if you don't vote for the African National Congress, chances are you are going to lose these grants. But I understand, because after all, it's politics. It's politics. This is actually showing the opposition parties that, guys, you actually have a huge task. Don't think that you simply go to kick out the African National Congress, man. The African National Congress, man, people are beholden to the ANC. People are beholden to the ANC. It's either people are beholden to the ANC because these people, man, they will talk about apartheid every moment they get, or people are beholden to the ANC because of these social grants. One way or another, people are beholden to the ANC. So what are opposition parties actually going to do to convince millions and millions? Man, you can hear from the professor. You can hear from the professor, man. These 350s added 10 million people. 10 million people, man. Social grants is 18 million people. These 350s are adding their own 10 million people. So do you think like there's any chance of us actually taking or kicking out the ANC in governance? Because if ANC intensifies these messages, there's nothing the opposition parties are going to do. If this message, man, is intensified by the ANC, you guys can go to the live on national television. We're gonna come on these platforms. We're gonna say whatever that we want to say, but it is not going to change anything on the ground. It's not going to change anything on the ground. People are beholden to the ANC. They are beholden to the ANC. So how is South Africa going to get itself out of this mess, man? How are we going to get ourselves out of this mess? You know, people, man, underestimate ANC. People underestimate what the ANC, the kind of damage that the ANC has done to South Africa. People underestimate that. They underestimate that. And I think the ANC knew when they said that, guys, we are going to run on what we have done since 1994. The African National Congress knew what they were doing. They knew that, guys, we're going to go to their communities and we're going to remind them of these things that they are enjoying today. We're going to remind them that, man, you didn't have that house. We built you that house, and that house was built by ANC, not taxpayers. That house was built by the ANC, not the government. It is the ANC that gave you that house. You have water right now in your home. It's because of the ANC, not the government, not taxpayers. African National Congress. 20 million people, man, depending on the government. And we have people, man, thinking that we can simply get rid of the ANC. If this message if ANC intensifies this message, I'm telling you, ANC is about to win the elections again with the majority. They intensify this message, they're about to win the majority again. And because these people are desperate, they will do anything to stay in power. I think the ANC is going to run with this message. It's going to run with this message. It's not going to be enough for us to say these people are lying. It's not going to be enough for political parties. It's not going to be enough for Action SA, DA, EFF, other political parties to come out and say the ANC is lying. People are fighting for their survival, man. People are not waiting. If you come and say that, man, there's a threat on your social accounts, people are not going to vote for that. It doesn't matter if the ANC is lying or not. People, it doesn't matter, because the lies spread fast. The lies spread fast. By the time people actually understand that these things are paid for by taxpayers, man, it will be too late. It will be too late, because the lies spread fast. You can see even right now, man, people are talking about it on TV everywhere, because they know the kind of damage that this messaging is going to do to South Africa. They know that, man, all of their plans, you know, ANC can come right now, they can say, man, it's fine, we are not going to defend ourselves on corruption, we are not going to defend ourselves on anything, but we are telling you that if you vote for these guys, you are going to lose your social accounts. People are going to vote for the ANC. Even if the ANC doesn't defend their records, they don't have to defend their records. They don't. That's why they don't want to defend their records. That's why they say we are running on what we have done since 1994. We are running on what we have done since 1994. We are not going to sit and listen to you tell us about how bad we are. We are going to come to your house and tell you about all of these things that we have given to you, and tell you that, man, if you don't vote for us, you are about to lose it all. You are about to lose it all. They are not in the mood for campaigning ANC. ANC is not in the mood to campaign. They don't have any victories to campaign on. They don't have any victories. That's why the president, man, that's why Ramaphosa is so shameless, man. He is the president of the country, the president of the ANC, standing in front of millions and millions of people, telling people that, guys, we have created a social welfare state. We have successfully created a social welfare state. He's talking about social grants. It's 2023. Your president is talking about social grants. That's why when I see people like Jacob Zuma, man, making the rounds, I get so frustrated by the likes of Jacob Zuma, because there's nothing you're gonna talk with Jacob Zuma, man. Is there anything is there any conversation that you can have with Jacob Zuma? There's no conversation that you can have with Jacob Zuma. None. That person, man, the only thing he can offer to you is apartheid and white monopoly capital. That is the only thing Jacob Zuma can offer to you. Only thing that Jacob Zuma can offer to you. Jacob Zuma, man, will not sit you down and actually talk with you about, you know, what the world is happening, like how these people, man, they are doing nothing in terms of improving the lives of the people of this country, man. They are doing nothing. Instead, they are gaslighting the people of this country every chance they get. They gaslight the people of this country, man, every chance they get. Look now, the ANC is telling people they are going to lose their social grants. Man, I don't know how opposition parties are going to encounter this. I don't know.
But is it likely going to be a massive change, in your view, if we have a non-ANC-led administration in power to the social grant system? In other words, is there an alternative that is being presented out there?
I think the majority of parties to the center and to the left has a strong social democratic and developmental orientation. So I have no doubt that there will be some sort of support for the poor people and for certain categories. But I think the difference will probably be, let's take the Democratic Alliance versus the ANC. It will be a difference in the manner in which the DA is managing the Western Cape in comparison to how the ANC is managing provinces like Gauteng, the Eastern Cape, Limpopo, etc. And what is interesting, and we have seen recent statistics, that in the DA-run provinces, there is a lot of job creation. While in my own province, we have recently seen a statistic, and that's Northwest Province, coming out indicating that more than 50% of the population in this province are unemployed. So it's not always the policy changes that is important. It's also the way you are implementing it. I have no doubt that what we need in the first place in South Africa is a framework that can create growth. And one of the big obstacles at the moment is the high levels of over-regulation of our economy through a number of legislations, including the B legislations and many other controversial legislations. And I think that a party like the DA will do away with that, but when it comes to parties like, for example, the EFF, they will follow a different approach. Maybe they will even go the way of nationalization of the economy in a more comprehensive way than is currently the case with the ANC.
So,
guys, I'm worried, man, about the future of this country, honestly, guys. I'm worried about the future of this country. I honestly don't know how we are going to get ourselves out of this one. I don't know how South Africa is going to get itself out of this one. I honestly don't know. So, guys, please tell me what you think, man. Drop your suggestions, guys. And guys, please try to answer my questions. You know, I don't like coming on this platform and be the only one running his mouth. I have a question for you guys. If you were a leader of any opposition party, how would you actually encounter this messaging of the African National Congress? Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.